get started here. I want to stand at this time. We'll do a pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Also like to take a moment of silence again. I can't believe what's going on in Texas at this time. So.
If you just said something, I didn't hear what it was.
Okay, thanks.
Timely. Well, speaking of timely, my goodness. There he is. Timely. Just
Okay, today is Monday, November 6th, 2017. The time is 5:05, and the meeting of the Greensburg Board of Works is called to order. This time, please silence phones. Okay. To comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table in the back of the room. Back there. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Carol Perkins. Here. Rick Enswaller.
Here.
Lynn Teddy.
Here.
And Daryl Poland.
Barely.
Okay, everyone should receive the minutes from October 2nd, 2017. Is there any corrections to the minutes? Okay. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I do have, old business, I do have an item that needs to be added to it. It's the alley project on West Street. I kind of left that off. So, if we would, we want to talk about the alley on West Street.
Need a motion to add that to the agenda?
Yeah. Can you add that to the agenda?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Mertz, come.
I haven't heard any changes yet on what's being done.
Okay,
I was wondering if there's any progress being made.
right. I don't know, Kathy, do you have any progress on the,
No. The only thing I do know is that a property owner has had a survey of the area done. If the survey is not complete yet, so I don't know what the findings are on that. And I just heard that today, so. I do have pictures if you guys need to familiarize with.
Say if the survey is not complete, there's not much we could do, right?
No, I would concur. Until the survey's done, that's what we would need to in order to make some resolution of this. That gives us some definitive things to work on.
And then until we see where the alley goes.
okay,
Make a motion to table till December meeting.
okay, okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we're gonna wait until we get that survey in.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it. What I talked to you about, last month, I showed you some quotes on prices on a truck for the street department. Basically, it's a truck that can help us with doing multiple tasks. Basically picking up tree limbs. It also can be used for this truck. It's a little bit different price truck than the other truck. This has a side compartment on it, and that compartment you can go put limbs in and it flips it up the top of the truck, and you don't have to use the crane. So if you got a smaller amount, you can do that. Also, we can use it for the heavy trash day. It could be used for multiple things. It has a bucket, grapple, and it comes down. You can pick up pieces and stuff like that. But I had a demo, had a piece come in, and the guys went and looked at it and played with it and drove it around and to see how many, there may be spots that it might not be able to get to because it's a pretty big vehicle. But everything's in the back, so we can pick up piles of brush and put it in the back of the truck and haul it out there and not chip it. So we got the guys off the roads a little bit safer. It's a little bit bigger vehicle. If we want to chip, we still can, but I'd rather chip on in an area where we're safer. The whole thing is about safety, not picking up mattresses and stuff like this. We use a bobcat. The bobcat sometimes tears up the streets and sidewalks or the grass. At least it did in my yard when they picked up the stuff. So I understand, you got to do it right. This price is through the state price, the NJPA. This is a used truck with 3,000 miles on it. It's a demo. So the original would cost about $185, and about 9,000 to 10,000 off the price. This truck is in stock. We wouldn't have to wait 6 to 8 months for a new one. We could order a new one, but it's here. Mark demoed. What do you think of it, Mark?
Worked really well.
So
Yeah, it was a little bit deceiving. They brought down a guy that's probably been on the back of it for years. And I put him in the tightest place I could find, and it'll do anything. It's one of those things that's going to take a while. It's just like trying to find a good backhoe or track hoe operator. You don't find them, you have to build one. So it worked really well for what was utilized. It'll still scuff a little bit if you aren't careful, because he told us you could actually almost clean a ditch out with it, the way he talked. So it'll scout just like anything else will. But it's got a power bucket. You can put down pressure on it. Like I said,
had a canvas for the top where you put it on and you put it out and extend so everything be covered as you're going out there to the thing. So that was a positive that I thought. One thing I know that's just little things, and I think it would help us in the long run. I know it's a pretty expensive piece of equipment, but again, I just believe it would be
Yeah,
a
like I
big
said,
thing.
anything you can do to help safety, and it's going to be utilized all the time, not a problem.
And I had money put in the edit fund for this and a garbage truck, but I was buying for 2 used pieces. And so we combined that. I can pay for this piece of equipment out of there. So I already had it budgeted for that in the budget because I was looking at a used piece when I first, and then you got this piece, and I thought, well, let's look at this thing. And I looked at the plain ones where it didn't have the side compartment, and I just think the side compartments,
it's slick.
we can pick up leaves with it, bags or trash or I mean not trash. Well, I guess you could. If it was came through.
It worked for leaves. I think it would work for leaves.
But the limbs
bag-
and all that stuff, it'll work out good because even the small piles you can throw in there instead of just Yeah, then you can push her down. So it's a,
The lead bags are getting huge. Because we put in place a few years ago to have clear bags. It's not as important now that we don't have trash bags, but the only clear bags you can find are 55-gallon trash can liners.
They get wet and
And we picked some up today that the guy said, they probably weighed 100 pounds a piece. Crammed completely full and stomped in tight.
well, what we're hoping to buy next year is a leaf vacuum. Is the next project, and working with solid waste on that. So that's what's going on.
New garbage truck, you coming in?
We had it right before, came in about a week or so before the trash cans came in. We still had the borrowed truck, I think, for heavy trash, and it came in, I don't remember, it was a holiday. Whatever the last holiday was, that was the day.
Halloween.
Columbus Day. Columbus Day. It came in Columbus Day.
He said Halloween.
So we've had to fix that. We had a little issue with it. The mechanic and we actually had a phone conversation with a gentleman up at the firm that came from Pyramid Equipment. He was a hydraulic guru. We made a few adjustments and the situation is perfect now. We didn't get very good compaction the first week, I can tell you that. But because it was heavy trash, we weren't going to take a truck out of service that week.
So, we've got the two different ones here.
Yeah, the one is the full price,
Yeah. Okay.
and the other one's with a demo price. Say about 8,000 plus. It can be here next week.
Hi.
So if you're buying this out of that, then you don't really need a motion or anything, just.
I don't think so. Okay, I just wanted to let you know what I was.
I think you're full.
Thank you.
Good idea.
So, just kind of, that was a scheduled item, and so. Okay? Okay.
Well, while we have Mark here, if you don't mind.
No.
Feedback on trash cans, have you had any? I've had a few.
They're getting less, let's put it that way.
Okay.
The
It's a
first,
change.
the
People
first
have to-
week, well, the phone calls were just hundreds. I think Sarah had her share.
I
Don,
didn't have hundreds.
we had 28 the first day.
Okay, that's not 100.
One day. One day. I'm saying the first week we probably did.
Yeah, you did.
But they're calming down.
I still think it was the right thing to do.
Yes, streets do look nice.
They really do. Yep.
The only complaint I heard was that this little tiny lady said she had a hard, well, I guess you guys have heard that one too, from other people, but that she had a hard time getting it down the driveway and back.
I've heard that in a couple of instances where not only getting it not just down the driveway, but because of steps or other kinds of things, maneuverability of it was more difficult for some because of health or their frailty. However, I agree. I think it's the thing we need to do, and in time, people will find ways to manage that. Some had some concerns about storage. I heard a comment or two about storage. But again, I think that's something that in time people will find ways to accommodate. And but yeah, it's the right thing in terms of
Well, I
the
think-
workers, the city, the overall. I think it's the right.
It has stimulated recycling.
Hmm?
It has stimulated recycling.
Good. That, of course, that's the same problem for a lot of people.
Right,
Besides
but
the-
the thing is, that was one of our goals. We wanted to try to promote that. And I think the cost of the second can and the increased monthly fee, there's been a lot of people in the last week or so that have been ordering recycling containers. A lot, because I know Brittany has delivered it. She's been out delivering every day last week.
Well, and I think if you check Britain, we're around 75% of our people are recycling.
How much?
75%.
That's good. You need more.
And so,
We went from filling one of those little buckets to filling a trash can, so.
yeah, it makes a difference.
It does, it makes you more cognizant of it. Good thing. Sorry you had to take the brunt of it, so.
In fact, everybody's had their fair share of calls. I can speak for Donna, I know her office has had a world of them. Most of the people have been understanding. As far as the bad calls, there hasn't been that very many. And I know one older lady I talked to that was concerned because she's somewhat incapacitated and uses a cane, and she said it'll never work. And I talked to her a week later, and she goes, I kind of like it. She goes, I put my cane on top of it. She goes, I just
There you
walk
go.
it right down the driveway. And she goes, it's
I think
actually
they're
more
very
stable than
maneuverable.
the cane is. So,
I think they're very maneuverable. I think they're easier to use than a can myself, but I'm not yet incapacitated. Some people may disagree with
I
that.
was
But
gonna say,
yeah, no,
Well, I know
we won't take a vote.
I have a lengthy driveway,
No vote.
and it's got some grade to it, and I think it's a lot easier to put out than it is the old cane that you can drag out.
Yeah, and if you have a neighbor that is struggling, help your
Yeah,
neighbor.
that's it. That's good suggestion.
And there's been a couple of them that have really had an issue, and we've tried to work with them as best we can. Some of them have learned to move around the corner because everything was given to them off of their home address, which way, whatever street they face. And wherever we have two routes come together, their garage is on one day and their trash can was on another day out front, so we've had to battle through some of that, but it's coming around.
That could be easily done to do.
And we still got people that don't know what their trash day is.
Or the recycling, I've seen that too.
And there's been a lot of people that didn't realize the recycle change with the trash cans, and that probably we should have had in the letter, but it was the understanding Best Way was gonna follow our example, and that's what they've done.
It works. It looks nice.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, Wendy?
We would like to request permission to close the street for the parade for the holiday walk, which is December 9th. The parade would start at 10 a.m. and probably only take about 30 minutes. And then, I mean, if it doesn't start on time, maybe 45. And then, start lining up at 9 o'clock. WTRE is working with us and they're actually helping organize the parade. So we're appreciative of their help and collaboration on the event. They'd like to close from Porter Oligers on North Street, so on Franklin, so from the intersection of North and Franklin to Walnut, so that's about 3 blocks, and use Walnut and Hendricks for lining up, just like they do the Tri-Kappa 4th of July parade. And then we'll go from Porter's to Gillenhow for the parade route. So we've done this same route for last year and previous years for the holiday walk.
Sounds like it's something we just nod yes to. I'll make a motion to approve road closures for December 9th, between 9 a.m. to approximately 11 a.m. from on North Franklin, from Walnut to Washington, around to Washington as far on Broadway as Gillenhow. So that'd be the next street up, which is North, whatever, the next street, I think.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks.
Thank
wanna tell them what you're gonna have down there?
I can, yeah. So in
10
addition,
little or reindeers? Not Indians.
yes, the commissioners gave us permission this morning to utilize the South Lawn again for, a couple of Santa's reindeer that will be joining us. And, we will have the trolley rides again to drag people around. The Historical Society is also switching, they've always been on a Sunday. They're gonna switch and join us on Saturday. So we'll have all of their fun festivities. Tree County Players is doing a like 1940s play or skit, and we are thinking that will be held at the Historical Society, but we're just working on space limitations there right now. Santa will be coming and visiting several of the businesses, and we're gonna have them walking around just downtown some, and then actually like stationed in certain places for pictures. Our photo boards will be out again. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, the gentlemen that do the train display in the Presbyterian Church, they do that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's the same weekend. So we're really just trying to put things together instead of one little piece here and one little piece there. So we're all kind of working together to collaborate in that regard. Okay.
Great job, thank you.
Okay, let's skip to Brent, Ron May.
We'll see.
I guess, I was gonna go to Bridges, but go ahead.
I'm trying to get to another meeting, so.
Oh, okay.
Good evening. I am here to report to you that our work at the intersection of Barachel Lane and Montgomery Road, the intersection improvement project, is finished. It was finished a few weeks ago. And to my knowledge, it is finished. I don't know if any of you have had a chance to see it. It's now a very large intersection. We're optimistic that trucks will be able to navigate the intersection, stay on the pavement, although that's never a perfect scenario for trucks. But I will appear before the Decatur County Redevelopment Commission to report to them and to present the final claim for that. The final cost came in at $101,000 and some odd cents. I don't have the number immediately in front of me. And as I indicated, that is to be paid by the county's redevelopment commission. In your packet, you should have had a summary of our Title VI survey data, and it is for the period. The first date on any of the submitted survey data was October the 18th of 2016, and the last survey was submitted on October the 25th of 2017, so approximately a year's worth of data. In that period, we had 22 surveys submitted, and just a real quick review, you've seen the data, but 6 were from the city county, which represented 20% of the total, and that was the largest, followed closely by the Board of Works and the Historic Preservation Commission, that each had 4 survey forms complete, and one of them did not designate what body was involved. Of the surveys completed by gender, 11 were from women and 10 were from men. And I think that's pretty close to the distribution of genders in our overall population. One of the questions, I might remind you that this survey form, in essence, was one that the state of Indiana uses, or the Indiana Department of Transportation uses, and we converted it to our use. One of the questions is ethnicity, and in this case, ethnicity is either Hispanic or Latino versus not Hispanic or Latino. Of those that responded, 13 or 59% were not Hispanic, and for whatever reason, 9 did not respond at all. So it may be a problem with our form that that's not discernible to people. Surveys completed by race, of the 22, 20 reported they were white and 2 did not respond. While that probably doesn't do a bad job of reflecting the makeup of the community, here's an area where we may need to figure out how to reach out and attract some non-white people to participate in our meetings. And of course, this survey does not mean they don't participate, it means they didn't fill out a survey form. Survey by age, the largest was 40 to 65 at 11, which was 50%. And then next was over 65, where 7 or 32% responded, and 2 did not provide their age group. And by disability, we had 1 individual that indicated a disability, 8 that indicated no disability, and 13 that didn't respond. Again, maybe there's a problem with our survey form that they don't see that question. And finally, household income. This one I found to be particularly interesting. The largest category was 9, which is 41% that were in the $12,000 to $24,000 income group. And then the next was 4, which is 18%, and that was 48,000 to 60,000, and also over 60,000 annual household income. I'm not sure what to make of that. The number that participated from the lower income group, though, I thought was interesting. And that's probably a good thing for us, that we have a diversity of people that come to our meetings and at least bother to fill out the survey. Questions?
Is this something that is ongoing, that will be here on infinitum, or is this something that we need to do for a period of time and can stop for a while, do it again for a while? What is the...
It is intended to go on ad infinitum and will be kind of a rolling. My vision is that we'll maybe always look at the current 12-month period or something. This is in a database that we can always look back further and see how these trends are going.
And what's the purpose of this?
It's a part of our Title VI implementation plan, and it is to show who is participating in our meetings and to determine from that data if we do need to be reaching out to segments of our population to assure they're being properly and adequately represented in city government.
How many other places do this?
I do not know for sure, but I think a lot of local public agencies, after the push that came out of NDOT Federal Highway in the last 2 to 3 years, I think that there should be many communities doing this.
County does. County does it.
They're doing it now?
Yeah. Like you said, the end up was the one.
I just know Title VI has been around for a long time,
Right.
and it hasn't been done
Right.
prior.
Right.
There has been a real push in the last few years, especially from Federal Highway Administration.
All right, thank you.
Other questions?
I think it's reflective of, even though there's only been a few actually do it, in that period of time for a year's worth of meetings, it does seem to represent, I think, pretty much what we've seen, even though it's only been 20 out of hundreds over that period of time. It may have been in the meeting or more than one.
Next. I have in my office an old copy machine. It's been around as long as I've been with the city, which is a little over 2.5 years. I've never used it. Actually, I thought it didn't work the other day just because I turned it on and actually got it to copy something. It was very crude copy by today's standards. I view it as excess equipment. I think it has no salvage value due to its age. So I'm requesting permission to dispose of that. And my proposal to you for disposal is we have an e-waste event coming up this Saturday, and I think that would be an excellent place for it to go.
It has no use for like New Directions or any of those type of organizations, Agape, homeless.
A Toshiba service technician was in the other day, and his comment was, I haven't seen one of those forever. I think it's pretty antiquated as copy machines go today. Considering that for $100 you could buy an all-in-one